What's up, guys? So I'm still working on the charger. I did take a little break in the last week and bought a media blasting cabinet, and I've needed one for a long time, and I just kind of put it off and didn't want to spend the money and wasn't sure how good they were, so I was just using a wire wheel on a benchtop grinder, and makes a mess. My wife's pissed because there's always dirt everywhere and she thinks I do it on purpose, but anyway. So I ended up buying this one from a company who I will not mention because I did not get it at a discount or for free. They do not sponsor me, so this is an honest tool review. So for those of you who are restoring a car, it doesn't have to be a Charger, any old late 60s, early 70s car, or it could be mid 80s for, but if you need to clean the little stuff, like the little parts that aren't worth powder coating, and I've got a really good powder coater that does it for dirt cheap, and he does a really good job, but I'm still left with bags and bags of hardware, little hardware brackets and stuff like that, little trinkets. And as you Charger guys know, these Chargers have a ton of little turn this fan off. They have a ton of little components, and if you get a Charger like mine, it's been sitting out in someone's field forever and rusting, as you saw with the floors. So I bought this guy. I removed the sticker because I wasn't happy the way they sent it to me. It was about a little over 500 bucks for the unit, and it comes in 2 boxes. In fact, it's the only one that I could get, delivered to my residence. And it actually comes in 2 boxes, pretty good packaging. It's got like 1,000 little fasteners that you have to put together. It took me, the better part of 3 hours to put it together, and I'm pretty decent at this stuff. But my window, this glass that you look through, was broken when I took it out of the package, and I wasn't surprised, but I called them and they made it right. They sent me a new one within a week, so that was cool. I got this tray, which was extra, so what I do is I clean my parts in this tray, and then I kind of put the clean ones over to the left while I'm cleaning more on this guy. The gun comes with several tips. These tips are ceramic, and they different sizes do different grain or grit of your media. See, it comes with basically everything you see here. There's a vacuum port on the back, which is like this guy here. I hook my vacuum up there, and it's got a vent right here that you can move and regulate the amount of vacuum you're getting. And with my vacuum, it's got a pretty new filter on it, and they say if you're turning the vacuum on, you got the door shut, if the gloves do this, they start floating in the air, you got too much vacuum, so open up that vent, and it worked. It's got a decent little light in it. It's pretty chintzy, to be honest, but the overall construction is really pretty sturdy. The airport was here, and I actually moved it over to here because space is an issue here. I just put some tin duct wrap around that just to block it, but overall pretty nice little unit, and it was the cheapest one I could find that wasn't like super terrible cheap, but it did take some time. You have to seal up all the joints. They gave you 2 tubes of RTV. That's like a little baffle for the vacuum. You got to have 80 psi, and you don't need this big of a compressor. This is a 60-gallon Husky from the home store, and it doesn't run the whole time, honestly. It kicks on every probably 20-30 minutes of blasting, and I'm just doing little stuff. Like, this is my clean pile and this is the dirty pile, and so I wanted to demonstrate this for you guys so you could see how good this works. So the media, which I also bought, and I will say that the media was really expensive. This media, a 50-pound bag, it's aluminum oxide. Basically, it's virgin aluminum oxide, whatever that means. This was $120. for that bag. So, and the machine only needs 25 pounds at a time, and I poured maybe about a third of the bag in here, and then realized my door down here is not tight enough, so it's leaking a little bit of media constantly. So I just threw a bucket under there, and basically I just pour it back in once it stops draining. So that one's on me. That wasn't a defect or anything. So let's see what else. So it's got pretty cool little piston things that hold it up when you're taking your parts out, and these gloves seem pretty sturdy. I guess I can do a long-term review after I've blasted all this stuff, because some of the parts are so small you have to hold them in one glove and blast them with the other. So oh, another thing I bought with it, I bought this strainer, and what this is for is when your media gets dirty, you actually pour the media through this thing, and it sifts out all the grit and grime from the dirt that you're removing from these parts, and then you can reuse it. So it's kind of a cool little idea. So I thought it was cheap, so I got it. So all in, the shipping, I will tell you, to my house, and I'm about 20 minutes away from Disneyland in California, it was over $200 for shipping. So yeah, that's how they get you. You know, these are $500, $125, and then the little trays were like $20 each. So it's a pretty heavy investment. I mean, but for me, it made a whole lot of sense because I have so many little parts to do. So and I'm just gonna do some rattle can ceramic, like high temp stuff on these parts. Not these particular ones, but most of the fasteners get like a dark gray color on them to be correct. So, but I want to demonstrate this for you guys and show you how well it works. So give me a second, let's set up. All right, here we go. So here are my parts in there. These are the rear axle vent and brake line block, distribution block, and just that little clip that holds it on, holds one of the brake lines on there, and a star washer. So this is all OEM stuff, and yeah, you need this vent for the rear housing. So all right, let me get this thing ready to go. These guys down, and let's see, a little bit of a glare. So turn the vacuum on. Got up 80 psi. That's the ideal psi. And an air dryer. I've got some condensation catching in here. Gloves on. So watch this. There's that. Looks pretty good. And get the distribution block. Now this is brass, so it's not going to look all pretty. Well, it will look pretty, but it won't look like the bolts and hardware. But look at that. I mean, it's really impressive how well this works. Yeah, and I will blow this out with compressed air once I'm done. Pretty good. I mean, that's really nice. Here's my clip. I suppose you could probably use some pliers to hold these if the gloves get holes in them. It'll be interesting to see how they last. But you can see how fast it goes. And I've got, you know, that aluminum oxide is pretty aggressive, but it's only like 90 grit or 80 grit, so it's not super aggressive. I don't want to take material off, I'm just trying to clean the dirt off. But you can see how easy that is. It's just truly pretty amazing. And it doesn't shoot a ton of material. I mean, look at that, that's nice. And then I do the washers kind of down on the platform there. Hopefully you can see that. That's star washer. It's like a lock washer kind of deal. Flip it over. Yeah, flipping these washers is kind of hard at times. Just kind of roll it over. I did notice that the gun does kind of dribble a little bit of sand or media, which isn't a big deal. Maybe that might be what's left in the nozzle after you let off the trigger. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. So let me open these up here. Jeez. Time for a fan belt, man. Jeez. Alright, so look at that. It's like brand new. And again, I'll blow this stuff out. It'll all be just fine. And so what I'll do is I'll take these guys out and put them back in their respective bag for paint. Now they're clean. And there we go. So here's another piece. Here's a bracket for my brake and clutch bracket under the steering column, and you can see how much scale it had on it, that it blasted that really easily. So anyway, I just wanted to show you this new operation, and I'm real happy with the purchase. That the company that makes this or sells it is they did the right thing. They sent me a new piece of glass and some more protectors. There is a protective coating on this glass that you can actually remove. It's a consumable, so I guess it hazes over time. Yeah, overall I am very happy with this machine, and space is an issue. Obviously, you can see I have to do like a major game of Tetris if I ever have to add anything in here, and I jumped a belt on my compressor, that's why it's pulled out. So but just thought I would share, and more Charger stuff coming real soon. I just got to get to painting, and now that I can clean parts real fast. Man, this is going really fast. I did those in about 20 minutes, so I have tubs like this full of Charger parts that I got to get through. So nobody said it was fast. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully this helps you guys make a decision.